All right, we're gonna get started. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Thumb. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Allah Thumb by Shem to all the brothers and sisters out there, all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is the ISUPK. This is the ISUPK. Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Jerry Hanna. We've been teaching since 1969 that God's chosen people are the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, right? Mainly in North, South, and Central America, right? Also, as well, we've been teaching our people what true love is, what perfect love is, and that you are to be perfect, right? With the Christian in the Christian's head, it is hard. It is impossible to be perfect, right? But what is being perfect, right? What is being perfect, and what is love as well, right? Because we all claim to say, "Oh, you don't love me," right? Right? That's another topic, right? But going back, right? How do you know you love the Most High? Hey, how you doing, brother? Shit. All right. So first scripture we're gonna get to. Give me First John. All right. Give me First John chapter 4, verse. Let's start at 17. All right, First John chapter 4, verse 17.
It's the book of First John, chapter 4, verse 17. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment.
Right. What's the day of judgment?
It's lucky when the king comes back.
Right. Day of judgment is where everybody's going to be taken into place, right? Everybody's going to be judged. Everybody's going to be, rewarded. I would say like that, right? Everybody's going to reward the wicked and the righteous, whether it be rich, poor, right? Whether you be, a king or a servant, right? It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be judged, right? Wherein is our love made perfect. Go ahead.
That we may have boldness in the day of judgment.
Right, boldness. What is boldness?
Unapologetic masculinity.
Right, Con. Wait, go ahead.
Confidence.
Confident. That's it. Right? You want to be confident, right? That's how you know. That's how you know you with the Most High, right? That's how you know the Most High is with you. When you confident, you ain't right. You bold. You just confident. You just because, and really, what's real love? Give me John, right? Give me the book of John. And then we'll go back to this. All right. Yeah. Give me First John chapter 2, verse 4.
This is the book of John, chapter 2, verse 4.
Sorry, start at 3.
Verse 3. And when they wanted wine.
Sorry, First John chapter 2, verse 3. Yeah, wait. All right.
It's the book of First John, chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him.
Right, we know him. Right, who's him? Most High. Go ahead.
If we keep his commandments.
Go ahead.
He that saith, I know him, and keep not his commandments, is a liar.
Right, go ahead.
And the truth is not in him.
Go ahead.
But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected.
All right, so what is his word? His word is his commandments, his laws, right? What your father tells you, right? That's his word. Your father told you, hey, don't eat pork, don't eat shrimp, stop celebrating birthdays, stop celebrating these pagan holidays, and don't bow down to these other gods, right? Serve me and love me. How do you love me? By keeping my commandments, by keeping what I tell you, right? But whosoever keepeth this word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him, right? That's how you know you are with the Most High, right? That's what love is, right? Keeping, doing what your father told you to do, right? Keeping it simple, right? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, keeping the command, keeping the laws, right? And what are the laws? A code of conduct, right? A way of living, instructions, what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat. It's just basically a blueprint of how to live life, how to gain life, right? When you lose the law, right? When you lose what your father told you to do, right? When you lose the wisdom that the Most High gave you, which is it is His law, right? You what do you lose? You lose life, and what do you gain? Death. Because you want to be a crackhead, or you want to be a drug dealer, or you want to be smoking weed, right? You lust after the flesh and your eyes, then guess what? Death is knocking at your door. Then the next step is an overdose. The next step is is sleeping with a prostitute or a whore and getting what? A disease, right? That eats up your insides, right? A bunch of people are over here. Like I remember when COVID first started, nobody couldn't even just sneeze or cough. You couldn't even make a sound when you walk into the market. You would walk outside, you would sneeze, even your family members would look at you funny, right? Which is how read verse 18, right? And then I'll explain what I'm saying.
Verse 18. Little children, it is the
So read verse 4 and 18. Man.
Verse 4 and 18. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. And the truth.
Read 1 John chapter 4, verse 18.
Come. This is the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. There is no fear in love.
There's what?
No fear in love.
Right. Why? Because you're bold, right? So like I said, everybody was afraid of the COVID, right? Everybody was afraid of a sneeze, but they weren't afraid to stop smoking, right? They weren't afraid to drop the cigarettes or the blunts. They weren't afraid to stop looking at, after whores, sleeping with whores. They wouldn't even wear a condom when they would sleep with that whore. That's how that's how dangerous they were. That's how they didn't have any wisdom. I'll say it like that, right? That's how they lacked understanding and instruction, because they love what? The world. They love. Give me actually 1 John 2 and 2 and 3.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments.
It's like 2 and 15. Man.
Verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Go ahead.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Right. The love of the Father is not in him. Right. Don't love the things that are in the world, man. What do we mean by that? What's the world? The world is outside of the knowledge of the truth, right? The world is, what you grew up learning, that what, that every inventor was what, it's like not that that the world is growing up thinking that you have to beg or you have to, you know, vote in order to feel or to gain something, right? In order to gain help, or you had to vote or die. That's the world, right? The is the pet, the swine. So swine's flesh is a delicacy, or crab, shrimp, and lobster is a delicacy, right? That's the world. The world is thinking that every 20 December 25th is Jesus' birthday, which what the world calls Yahweh, right? Jesus Christ. They think every December 25th, when it lands on December 25th, it's give presents under the tree and have baby Jesus in Salakia, a white devil, right, outside of your house, and the what was it, the three kings around him, right? Like that's what people believe. People believe that Christ was born on December 25th. They believe that bunnies lay eggs, and they believe that's what Easter is. They believe in, it's all Christianity, right? It's all vanity. It's all nothing, really nothing. That's what they believe in. That's what the world is, vanity. It's just vain customs, things that don't have to do nothing with the Most High or our King Yahushua, right? Go ahead, read verse 16.
Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father,
right?
But is of the world.
Right. Basically, that's what the world is. It's just nothing but to fulfill your lust, fulfill your, basically just be prideful and just be wanting, right? Always being selfish. I'll leave it like that, right? Being selfish, right? In the world, you don't have time to think about anybody else. You think about yourself. Why? Because everybody else is selfish. Is that what they say? Who's going to take care of me and mine, right? Who's going to be here for me? Who was here when I needed help, right? Who was here for this? Who was here for that, right? In the world, you get to be selfish, but in here, you don't. In here, you can't think about yourself, man. You can't be thinking about what you want, right? What you need, right? What you want and what you need is two separate things, right? What you really need is to understand that you a fool, right? In order to gain some knowledge. That's how everybody starts, right? Learning from base, from ground zero, right? Crawling, right? Sipping on some milk before you can eat the meat, right? That's how you learn, right? You learn by getting the basics, right? That's how everybody started. Everybody started from ground zero. Everybody started as a young man, working up to a trooper, down to an officer, and then sooner or later you can become captains or camp leaders, right? Leaders in different zones. Why? Because you weren't thinking about yourself. You weren't thinking about yourself. You were thinking about your brothers in the world who needed this work, who needed this love, who needed the love of the Most High to teach them about the Most High, right? Rather than be the wicked pastors that feed themselves, right? And feed not the flock of the Most High, right? Just like it says in the Ezekiel 34th chapter, right? Woe unto the pastors that feed themselves and not my flock, And because of that, that's why we're so separate. We're so what? Divided. We're so scattered, right? We're so scattered because we're not joined together. We're all what? Selfish, man. That's how you that because you're selfish, you're gonna be you're not gonna connect with your own brother. You're not gonna you're not gonna be thinking about your neighbor. You don't be thinking about who? Your enemy. You don't think your enemy's your neighbor. You don't think the white man's your neighbor, right? You gonna lust after your own flesh, right? Which is the world. That's the world, right? All right, give me let's go back to chapter 4, right? First John chapter 4, verse 18 again. Go ahead.
First John chapter 4, verse 18.
Start at 17.
Verse 17. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment.
Right, boldness in the day of judgment. Go ahead.
Because as he is, so are we in this world.
Right, in this world, right? In this world, man, we are perfect. Like how he is. Give me one where it said, "Be ye therefore perfect, as your Father in heaven is." Right? If you get that from me, right? Because for anybody, any Christian, it's like impossible. It's impossible to be perfect, to strive for perfection, right? It's always basically giving up, right? That's always the easy route, right? Don't nobody want to put up a fight. Don't nobody want to stand toe to toe with with your enemy or with yourself, right? You don't want to fight yourself, right? You don't want to pick up the burden that Christ went through, right? You want to take the easy route. They want the what? Like I remember hearing Jay-Z say, right? Jay-Z said wants the end result. They don't want they don't want to put in the work. Wants to put in work. Everybody just wants basically the easy way, right? The excuse, right? Everybody wants to make an excuse, which is what a wicked man always does, man. Every single time you ask them, stop smoking, smoking's not, weed is not good for you. The Most High did not put this earth, in this earth for you to smoke it. Oh, but why did he make it though? Right? He made it for a reason though, right? Like, it's not a drug, it's not this, it's not that. God made me this way. So many excuses, man. They just turn left all the way. They do a whole 360, man. And they don't they lean more to their understanding rather than to the Most High.
Right.
Rather than to what the priests and prophets of the Most High, what they say, which are in the UPK under Command Jerry Hani, right? Ain't nobody else gonna tell you the truth, right? Ain't nobody else gonna tell you how bold as a lion, man. Bold with courage, man, and really to help you, right? To help you get out of the condition that we're all suffering from, which is oppression under the goddamn Slakia oppressor, right? Which is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
We need to escape this oppression, man. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of slaving for the so-called white man, begging, right? It's like we don't beg over here, but we over here working our asses off, and we get and especially the Mexicans, man. The Mexicans, they work day in and day out, right? And work for pennies. The natives have no water in the reservations, right? And the so-called black man in America is always being targeted by the police, man. And it's like we're the number one threat to every nation, man. That's why we need to be saved, man. No other nation needs to be saved but God's people, which is Israel. Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect,
Go ahead.
even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
Right. Be ye therefore perfect. Right. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And this is Christ speaking to you, man. Don't let a Christian fool you and tell you and deceive you into thinking that Christ died for you to continue in sin. How much of a disrespect is that to Christ, man? Your King. How you gonna continue in sin and think that you get to live any longer? Right? How do you expect to live any longer eating pork, knowing damn well you get high blood pressure? They're gonna have to cut off one of your limbs, a leg or something, in order for you to realize, okay, you know what, I need to stop. Right? Because that's how any child obeys, by getting a good ass whooping. Right? A good ass whooping, like Bernie Mac said to the white meat shows, right? Like that's really how you learn, man, by being chastised, man. Right? Go ahead, Brock.
So like I was gonna say too, like when it says be, just because the topic today is what is love, when it says be therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect, this is actually talking about love. Like if you read verse 45. It says that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love them which love you, what reward have you? Do not even the publicans the same? Meaning,
Right.
like, it's what we do. We don't just love them that love us. You get what I'm saying? We love them, even the brothers that when we at camp, running up and pulling knives on us, and you know what I'm saying, and want to attack us and curse us out. We love them too. Why? Because we keep speaking and we keep telling them how to be better. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just heavy. That's the perfection that this is talking about.
And that's crazy that you say that too, because it is true. So many of our brothers, especially when we speak the truth, right? We speak to them, and it's really because of how we bring it out, right? It's how we say, and it's because nobody else talks about this, man. Nobody else talks about how you need to change. How you need to change. Like, how you gonna tell me you need to change for the better of you? For you, so you can, like, who benefits off of changing? Do I or do you? You do. Like, I like I don't benefit anything but to see you see the Most High change your life, man. See how the Most High does like literally a miracle, right? I don't know how any of us are still here by the things that we did in the world, man. Right? That's a miracle. You've gone through something. Like every brother in here has a story to tell, right? But because you're here and you want to do something better than what your fathers taught you or your mother taught you, your grandparents taught you, right? You want to do something better, man. You want to get yourself out, and you want to wake yourself up, and you want to change, do things the right way now, instead of what you've always been told, which is nothing but lies. Like, a brother would always, like you said, man, like Proc said, right? Brothers, pulling out knives, trying to knock down signs, and we're just telling you how to love. We're teaching you about love. Separate yourself from the damn predator, from the beast. Like, he is murdering us, and you want to join with them? You fighting me because you want to stay close to, the plague, stay close to cancer. I'm trying to be that doctor and trying to remove the from. I'm trying to give you this medicine, man. But yet, You don't want to hear me. Why? Because we just nothing but another nigga in the street, right? But let it be a white man. See how quick they, white man's behind, right? So like, let's go back to verse 18, I believe you will.
Book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth
First John chapter 4, verse 18.
It's the book of First John chapter 4, verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
Right, man. Perfect love casts out fear. Right. When you like the perfect scripture to tie this with is oh man. I forgot. He will make thy enemies at peace with you. Right. I forget the script. I'll look for it. Right. Or if Parag, can you look? You got it? All right, the what? Right. Read that one more time, Buttermouth, if you could.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
Right. Perfect love casts out fear, man. When you love the Most High, when you love a power, right? When you love that which can destroy both body and soul, right? Like in here, we don't fear no man, right? Go ahead, get that.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 7. When a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
And then can you give me Matthew 10 and 28? Right. Read that one more time.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Right. What are your ways? What you do, right? Your actions. When your actions, right? When you love the Most High, right? When you love the Most High, right? And you do what he tells you to do, he makes even your enemies to be at peace with you, man. People that, the same ones that are trying to kill you every day, right? I know when you in the world, like in the world, you be so afraid of a cop pulling you over, right? You be so afraid of a cop pulling you over because of what? Because you a black man in America, because you a Hispanic man in America. And you know what happens to us because you've heard the stories over and over. And because not only that, but because you grew up in that environment. Your father went through it. Your mother went through it. You've seen it with your own eyes growing up as a child. So guess what? That same fear stays with you. Why? Because you don't fear the Most High. Because your ways are not with the Most High. Your ways are with what? What the world's way, right? You love the world, right? So the love of the Father is not in you. And so what? Now fear comes with you, right? Now you don't have courage. Now you don't have courage, and you can go get what? You can go get high. That's how you cast out fear in the world. That's a cowardly way to cast out fear, by getting high, by smoking the blunt, by sleeping with whores, right? By going to the strip club, by buying, by doing the most dumbest things to fulfill your lust, right? Give me Matthew 10 and 28.
Book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul.
Right. Look, you fear man, right? You fear, right, the police, because he has the power to murder you and get away with it most of the time, right? He has that power. You fear him. Why? Because of what's gone, what you've seen in the news, what you hear, and what you've grown up. Right? You fear the police department. You fear back then you used to fear Sheriff Joe Pyle. Remember that, right? After the SB 1070, a bunch of our Hispanic brothers were fearing Sheriff Joe Pyle because what? As soon as you seen a black truck with golden letters sheriffs, it's like, man, make the next right here, or you know what, park in this gas station, or park at this house, even though it's not your house, because what? Because you were in fear of getting what? Deported, of getting your families ripped apart, of being what? Of gunned down, right?
Rather, fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right, but fear him rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Right? Fear the Most High, man. As soon as you put your trust and fear in the Most High, you ain't got nothing else to fear, man. You don't fear, what brothers in the world fear, man. You don't fear your woman leaving, man, which is something something a coward feels, right? It's fear, right? Because you're not what? Your ways aren't with the Most High. Your ways don't please the Most High. So guess what? The Most High don't put fear in you. Since your ways don't please the Most High, since you don't love the Most High, since you don't keep His commandments, and guess what? I guess I gotta teach you something, right? I guess I gotta chastise you. I guess I gotta show you how to fear me, right? I gotta prove to you that you gonna fear me, right? Like I said, ain't nothing more gangster, ain't nothing more powerful, ain't nothing more strong or aggressive as the Most High, man. The Most High is like a righteous Father, man, and He will teach you how to get right, right? Whether it be through chastising or through just telling you can learn one way or the other. Hey, don't touch the iron, it's hot.
Right.
No toques la plancha, está caliente. ¿Y qué haces tú? La tocas. What do? You touch it. Because what? You want to test your father's, knowledge. You want to test his strength. Now you're gonna get an ass whooping. Now you got burned, right? You thought that was enough. Now you gotta get an ass whooping because you did not learn. You're gonna be one way. And I guess this is the only way to learn. Since you don't want to listen, right? You don't want to be what? Be perfect as your Father, which is in heaven is. You don't want to be perfect like your Father. You want to be reckless. Right? Let's go back to 1 John chapter 4, read verse 20 this time.
Book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God,
right,
and hate his brother,
right,
he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Right. How can you say you love, right? How can you say you love God but hate your brother? How can you say you love God? Right? How can you come up to us and telling us you're preaching hate? You're preaching hate, right? When you haven't even seen the Most High, man. You say you love the Most High, but you hate us when we tell you, when we correct you. You a hypocrite. You a liar. It's like you are a liar. Go ahead. Verse 21.
And his commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
Right. And in here, we do love our brothers, man.
That's right.
And we show it every day, man. We show it when we go out into the streets, man. This is how you show love towards them, man. Like, I don't know any other. I'm gonna leave it at that. Right? Give me Matthew 4:4. It's like it, not. Give me Proverbs 3:11.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth.
Right. That's love. Why do you say, oh, so why is this happening to us? Why are we over here oppressed under the white man? Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? Right? It's because the Most High is he's trying to correct you, man. He's trying to teach you something. He's trying to get you to learn. You didn't learn the first time. I guess you're gonna have to learn this time. All right, you're gonna have to see the other side. All right, read that one more time.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth.
Hold on. Give me verse 25.
Verse 25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh.
Go ahead.
For the Lord shall be thy confidence.
Right. Go ahead.
And shall keep thy foot from being taken.
Shall be what?
Be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken.
Look, man, like I said, you can't be walking around here being confident, right? You can't walk around here thinking that nothing's gonna happen to you, right? Especially if you're doing something wrong. I know when you do something wrong and you look at it, it's like, how do I put this? Right? You're doing wrong. I'll just put it at that, right? Your conscience will tell you when you do something wrong, right? And because you didn't get punished, right? Because you didn't get chastised on that minute, that hour from the Most High, don't think it's not gonna come, right? Don't think that just because the Most High didn't correct you right there and then, right, that your punishment is not gonna come. Everybody gets punished. It's like anybody that man, it's like everybody gets rewarded, right? If you wicked, you're gonna get rewarded. If you righteous, you'll get rewarded as well, right? But one's better than the other. One's better than the other, right? For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken, right? Keep your foot from being taken, right? Like you have, like you still got that scripture, enemies to be at peace with you. Read that one more time.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Right. He makes his enemies to be at peace with him. Right. Don't be afraid of these cops. Right. First of all, buckle yourself. Right. Wear your seatbelt. Right. Drive right. Don't be driving reckless. Right. Second thing too, don't be out here, trying to test the Most High. Right. Don't try to get yourself in a situation just to prove that the Most High is with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think that because that you in here, right? Don't think because you in here, you listening, you doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Don't think that the Most High is still with you, right? You in here. We don't say the Most High is with. We convince the Most High that He's with us, right? Like we said, actions, your ways, is what will dictate whether it pleases the Lord, despises you, right? It will show that He's with you or He's not with you. Don't test the Most High for any little reason, right? Don't test the Most High. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna speed today, or I'm gonna do this today, and see if because the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, don't try to put yourself in a situation just because you're too confident. You're too, you comfortable. The Most High will, basically, bring you low because you trying to have some sort of pride. You trying to have some sort of, you actually doing a little too much, right? You understand what I'm trying to say? Go ahead.
Kind of like how Satan tried to tempt Christ and say, "Look, jump off of this cliff, the angels gonna have it."
Right.
Christ is like the type of nigga that you talking about. He gonna jump off the cliff because he's gonna be like, "Yeah, the angel is gonna get me because Most High mess with me." You know what I'm saying?
Right. Actually, let's get that. Give me Matthew 4:4. Right. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God."
Right.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple.
Right. So go ahead.
And saith unto him, "If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down."
Right. If you be the Son of God, right, just jump. Right. Just jump. Drop yourself. Go ahead.
For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee.
Right. Because you have charge over the angels. The angels will catch you. Jump, and you have the power. Right. You can do what? You can move mountains. Right. You can move mountains. You can turn water into wine. You can do this. You can do that. Right. You have charge over the angels. Jump, and you won't die. And that's another thing. That's another thing too. That Christ was being tempted by the devil to kill himself. Right. You Black Hispanic. Come on. Depression. That never hit you.
Right.
Depression never hit you. Anxiety never hit you. Like, I'm not saying that's what Christ was going through, but that's similar to what Christ was going through. The devil was tempting Christ, right? The devil was telling him, kill yourself. You have power. The angels will, carry you. They'll just, you have charge over the angels. You ain't gonna die. You can do it. Go ahead.
And in their hands shall they bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Go ahead.
Jesus said unto him, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God."
Thou shalt what?
Not tempt the Lord thy God.
Man, I'm telling you, you do not want to tempt the Most High, right? You think, like I said, you think you good until you've been proven wrong, right? You think you right when you really not, right? And that's how, and you gotta learn from this too. You gotta learn from Yahushua. Yahushua dealt with that devil. He wasn't giving in to whatever this demon or this devil was telling him to do, which is so many of you, so many brothers that are in the world. When you by yourself, that's when you tempted the most. When you by yourself, that's when you're tempted the most, because what? Don't nobody see anything what you're doing, right? Most High sees everything. First of all, just know that Most High sees every little thing. right? But because you by yourself, the devil, that's when the devil, that's when you're vulnerable, I should say, right? That's the better word to use. You're vulnerable. You what? You're dropping your guard, right? You're dropping your what? Your jab. You're dropping your hands. Now you're not protecting yourself. Now you just an open target. You're just you're basically inviting him in. And don't get comfortable. Never feel comfortable anywhere where you're by yourself or with company. Don't ever get too comfortable with yourself. Go ahead.
Like if I could too. This is a perfect example of how to battle a demon. Any demon you got a demon of getting high, you got a demon of whatever, right?
Right.
This is a perfect example because he's fighting this demon with scriptures. And that's why it's so important to learn these scriptures, because I wouldn't say Christ himself, but a brother wouldn't be able to battle a demon like this if he didn't know the scriptures. That's why it's so important to learn from us, because we can tell you, we can read for you that the scripture said that thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. You get what I'm saying? It also tells you that you should serve the Most High and the Most High alone. When Satan tried to tell him that, serve me and I'll give you all of these kingdoms. But it's like, and so that's my thing. Like, if you got an addiction to getting high or addiction to smoking, you can battle that demon by telling yourself in the book of Proverbs, it says that an ungodly man diggeth up the earth, and in his lips is a burning fire. You can go and you can cite that and you can battle that demon like that.
Right. No, facts. You're gonna think that, actually, let me get that for you. Right? Because we're gonna bring out a couple of let's see if I have it still. Actually, let me get Revelations 3 and 19. All right. What's up that?
The book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 19. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
Right. When you come in here, that's another thing that you might learn in here, right? Getting checked, right? And if you in the world, it's like if you're a brother coming in here, certain things that you're allowed in the world and you come in here, we'll check you for that. We'll correct you for that. And it'll be a brotherly thing to do, because we don't want you, we don't want you carrying the same, we're trying to, basically renew your mind. We're trying to help you out, right? Like there's a certain spirit that, when you get out, when you're in the world, you carry. But when you come and read that last part.
Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
But when you come in here, you want to be zealous. You want to be zealous and constantly checking yourself, trying to changing, right? Which is what Christ was telling you, right? He's checking you, and at the same time, he's doing it as in a brotherly way. Because as many as I love, I rebuke and chastise. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Right? There's another one too. Give me 1 Corinthians. No. Hold on. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 34.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not.
Right. Awake to righteousness. Right? Go ahead.
And sin not.
Go ahead.
For some have not the knowledge of the Most High.
Right. For some have not the knowledge of God, of the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
I speak this to your shame.
I what?
I speak this to your shame.
What?
I speak this to your shame.
All right. Give me also where it says in the Apocrypha, right? Where it says there's a shame that brings forth sin, and there's a you know what I'm talking about?
I believe so. You want the one in Second Ezra?
I believe so.
You want me? I got one.
Go
I
ahead.
know.
I believe it's in Ecclesiasticus. But go, give me what you got.
It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 65. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
Hold on, read that one more time.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 65. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
Nah, give me Ecclesiasticus 4:21.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4, verse 21. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace.
Right. There's a shame. So how can there be two types of shame? Right? There's a shame that brings forth sin. How can shame commit sin? Right? There's only one word for that. Peer pressure. Right? Peer pressure will cause you to sin. Not only that, but trend. You ever heard of that, right? Whatever is trending, whatever is popular, right? The whatever's hot, right? Whatever is whatever is good, whatever people are talking about, right? That shame, like them doing it and you not keeping up with it, right? For instance, right? I'll give you one example, right? It's your mother's birthday, or it's Mother's Day, right? Now, all her kids gave her a present, but what did you give her? Because you're not in the world, what did you give her? Nothing, right? So now, what's your family looking at you like? Right? They're over here looking down at you, making faces, making noises. Look who comes here. Why are you here? What are you doing? Right? They're trying to put shame for what? To bring forth sin. To make you bring a present. Right? To make you feel like you have to do it. Why? It's your mother. It's your mama. Right? It's tu madre. She gave you what the world says, right? She gave birth to you, right? She gave life to you. She birthed you, whatnot. She pushed you out, right? Now in that situation, she will make you feel like committing sin against the Most High. How? By committing, basically idol worship. Worshiping your mother as an idol. Right? Worshiping another God, really. That's what you're doing. Another way too is your woman. Your woman is she's basically, she knows how to do it naturally. Right? She'll tell you how to, or she'll make certain noises or certain things, right? She'll put certain things in places in order for you to go against your God. Job's rib was one of them. But what did Job do? Instead of cursing the Most High, he cursed her. Damn that. Go ahead.
So he checked the hell out of her too.
He said,
you sound like the foolish one. You know what I'm saying? Like modern days, like Bitch, you sound stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you dumb as hell. Like you might even call her a bitch. You never know. Like, a woman get offensive when you call her that, right? Like, bitch, shut the hell up, right? Man, but your woman will do certain things in order for, like, especially if it's her birthday, man. Like, birthdays is like, for a woman, it's like, if she don't get her birthday, it's like, it's the end of the world, right? And I like, that's on the in today's time, in this generation, right? This generation, all these females, if you don't get her a present, or if you don't take her out to eat, right? If you don't take her out to eat in an expensive restaurant, right? And you have to have money, right? You have to be the breadwinner, right? Like she'll make certain things put in place just so you can, please her. Like why are so many why are so many men, dealing with selling drugs? Most of them because they want to attract women. Some of them. I'm not saying all of them, right? Others, why I remember hearing about stealing purses. A guy, like, I remember growing up and hearing of men stealing purses. I'm like, I was young too. I was like, why the hell would a guy steal purses for? Like, and then later on you find out what it's for. It's not for him. It's for a damn female. Female, like, that's what they love: purses, they love jewelry, they love the money, they love materialistic shit, right? But when you want that's a simple one, right? That's a simple one. A simple woman will, and it's like an easy woman, right? A foolish woman loves those things, right? And you don't want yourself a foolish woman. You don't want to be caught in a what? It's like an entanglement. You don't want to be like a Jed. What's her name? Jade Pinkett or something like that. Smith, whatever, right? You don't want to be caught. You don't want to be like Will Smith. You know, this man has the key to your house, and you just pay the bills, and he just comes and does whatever he wants to your woman, and you kiss her in the lip, and she wipes her mouth as she has done nothing wrong. That is, man. And then you go back to that pollution, to that polluted woman. That's what caused, like, that's how you cause a man to sin. That's another man's woman, first of all, right? Another man slept with that woman, and now that's his man, that's his woman. But now you are going back to that woman. Why? Because she made a mistake. Oh, it's because you're not making me happy. Oh, so now it's your fault. So now you have to fix things. So now you got a promise, right? Which some coward, some men do out in the world, right? They make promises, right? They make promises. Right here in the ISUPK, we don't make no promises. Let your nay be nay and your yay be yay. Let your yes, I'm gonna do it, or no, I'm not. Let your word be the final answer, and let your actions lead up to it. Don't be promising something that you can't keep. You're gonna break your neck trying to fulfill a promise, and then you go, and then every day you wake up, you're gonna have to tell her, I'm not like the other men. I'm not like these other guys. I'm not like your ex. I'm not like your daddy. I'm not like this and that, right? Because what? Because so many men have let her down, and what are you doing? You're making promises. Make sure you help the brother too, or ask him if you want some, right? Do you want some? All right. But yeah, like I said, there's a shame that brings forth sin, and that's the shame, right? Now, there's a shame which is glory and grace, right? That's what we read in 1 Corinthians 15:44, right? Away to righteousness. When we go out, when we tell you, hey, stop smoking drugs, stop, smoking cigarettes, stop, drop the blunt, weed, leave that, those, what are they called? Swisher sweets, right? That's what they're called, right? Leave those candy flavored blunts, alone, man. Sound like a child, right? Let me have a blueberry or watermelon or this and that, right? That's for children, man. Like, I'm telling you this for a good reason, right? And I speak this to your shame. I'm telling you this I'm trying to make you feel ashamed of what you're doing because it is wrong, right? That was the one that we just read was Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verse 21, right? For there is a shame that brings forth sin, right? It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verse 21, right? Give me a minute. Hold on, give me a minute. Read 1 Corinthians 15 and 44 real quick. One more time.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 44. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body.
So I get 15 and 34. So like that, man.
Verse 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of God.
Right. Some have not the knowledge of God, man.
I speak this to your shame.
Right. Keep going.
But some men will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die. And that which thou sowest not, that body shall be, but bear grain. It may chance of wheat or of some other grain. But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
That's all. That's really talking about reincarnation. Just give me Matthew's 7 and 13, and we'll close that with this.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
Right. Enter ye into the straight gate, for wide is the gate, right? Wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to what? To destruction. And many there be which go in there in their at, right? Like so many people, it's like this is like you trying to be open minded, right? You over here, you want to be open minded. You want to, do what you want to do, right? Read verse 14.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way.
Right, straight is the gate. Right, straight is the gate. Now this is a different gate, right? This is a different gate. The first gate was what? Wide. So many, it's so much space. There's so much room to you can do whatever you want to do. This gate is straight and what?
Narrow is the way.
And narrow is the way. Go ahead.
Which leadeth unto life.
And which leadeth into what?
Life.
Go ahead.
And few there be that findeth it.
Right. Few be there that findeth it. Right. It's so narrow. You can't what? You can't turn left. You can't turn right. Keep going. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. Beware of false prophets.
Like you can stop right there. Right. It's so narrow. You can't turn left. You can't turn right. It's straight. Right. The other one. Right. The first gate was wide, which means you can do whatever you want. You can be open minded to homosexuality, the LGBTQ. You can be open minded to Christianity, the Southern Baptist Church. To you can you can open your arms and try to hug a Nazi. You can hug. You can hug Amber Geiger. You can hug your enemy, right? You can. That's how wide this gate is. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can love your enemy. But this other gate, this is what? Straight and narrow.
That's right.
Right? Straight and narrow. You can't do that. Right? And this gate will give you life, man. Not only that, but few be there that find it. This gate is hard to enter into. It's hard to get life when you can't do so much. So like when you can't do whatever you want to do, right? You gotta squeeze in there. You gotta try to make your way in there. Straight, right? Straight and narrow is the way. There's not so many room for errors. There's not so much room for errors. You can't be, you can't keep up making excuses, right? You can't be making up too many excuses, man. You gotta get correct, right? You gotta what? Wake up to righteousness, right? You gotta what? Make your ways please the Lord. And this way is narrow and straight. And guess what? There's life in there. Right? And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest Paran. So I was looking for it. I thought it was over here.
These are ISUPK security announcements. With ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world, and if they need transportation, it's like the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to that brother or sister, and there's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, that brother and sister will get permission from their head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, it's in Numbers the 18th chapter, the 21st verse, and in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. The word tithes means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, which means 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give it to the Treasury Department or to the teacher. Priest funds, which are free will offerings for the priest, they're not mandatory, but they're whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we'll be having the memorial is blowing the trumpets. Date, I'm not quite sure on the date. Coming up shortly though. All right. Also, make sure if you come to the physical school's location, GPS the school's location, visit the school's website, and if you've not already, post a review of the school on Google. If anybody wants to become a member of the school and be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and or scarf. All right, with that, we're going to get a teacher a courtesy salute. I'm going to visit our Majin, which means to stand. Ahmadu Shabbat, Ahmadu Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barak Atham.
How about Shimon?
All right, Yadim Matah, class.